Hey guys, continuing the same setup as the last 2 days with the Gillette Silver Blue inside of a UK, English, British Gillette Tech vintage razor using Barbershop. I used it last night, but the lather was a little too wet, so I'm going to use it again. I need to compare it properly to the fine accoutrements base, which is what I've been doing the last couple days. And then this Maseto 24 millimeter Silvertip badger brush with the Memphis shaped handle, which I enjoy. All right, I just got out of the shower, so I don't need to wet my face as a pre-shave. I also washed with a glycerin soap. That's, from what I hear, well recommended. The glycerin style soap does a nice job at preparing your face for shaving. So let's pull out this razor blade. It has only been used 3 times, so it's still in great shape. Now this guy sometimes gets stuck. I wonder why. Maybe he's binding on something. I don't know, but he shaves great. It does shave a little better than the American Tech. I think I can just visually see some differences in the shape of the base plate, and so that's obviously going to come into play and give you a different shave. All right, yesterday I loaded for 30 seconds. That was probably about right. I just watered it too much. So, Stirling Barbershop. Oh yeah, I did show it to you. Okay, so today we'll do 25 seconds. Had the brush soaking for 10 minutes or so. It doesn't matter as much with the badgers, especially the 3-band. All right, shaking most of the water out. 25-second load. Started at the 10-second mark, so we'll go to 35 seconds. I have used Stirling in some mileage testing, and a tub of the 5.8 ounces of Stirling product will, if I'm bowl lathering, which helps me to conserve the soap, I can go 13 months. Pretty good. Bad news for my big collection of Stirling soaps. Probably never use them up. All right, now I'm just going to wipe the rim of this guy. We can go ahead and start with the Roger Quintero lather bowl. It's a 3D printed bowl if you want to print your own. The link to the files is in my video description. There are some services online you can use to print your own if you don't have a printer. Sometimes your local library has one. This is the extra large version of the bowl that he has. 2.5 teaspoons of water is what I have used before with this soap base and had really, really nice results. I'm very happy with that ratio. So that's what I might have in mind for today's. We'll just see though, but at least that gives me a knowledge about how fast to add water and about when I might want to stop. So I'm trying to get a little bit of creaminess, but still maintain a nice hydration level, because the question was asked in my YouTube channel, what is your favorite base? What is your favored base over Stirling or Fine accoutrements? I like them both a lot. They're really similar. The mutton base from Stirling is even better, probably better than both of them. But you know, a lot of people don't even know too much about the mutton base. It has obviously all the ones that say sheep, like electric sheep, Scots pine sheep, are the mutton base, but also Varan, Port-au-Prince, and Glastonbury are also in the sheep, the mutton base. And so, but my testing here is on the barbershop or any other base that uses the Stirling's beef tallow base. Now I've added 2.5 teaspoons, so maybe this is all I need. Let's just give it a good consistent mix and test it out with my fingers and see how it feels. Had great slickness yesterday with the overly hydrated. Well, it wasn't overhydrated. It still gave me a great shave. It was just on the wet end of perfect, but it was hydrated enough to where the creaminess had departed. So it wasn't a good judge because of that. All right, let's feel of it. Yeah, why don't we go with that and see? Nice and slick. Okay. Stirling's Barbershop has a little bit of vanilla, I think some amber, some rum, and some other notes. It is a little darker and sweeter than, because of those notes I mentioned, than a lot of other barbershops. It's not as soapy as a lot of the others. And I think that's great because I think a genre can cover a quite large array of options. The powdery note is often one that is associated with barbershop scents, and this one doesn't really have much of that. Well, this is definitely not too wet. You can see that pillowy lather building up. Normally I'd probably add a little bit more water to this, but I just want to see how this one feels. And I want to feel it with wet hands instead of dry hands. Feels really nice and creamy on my face. Let's see what kind of viscosity we can see from kind of trying to pull some up. It's not quite as elastic as the fine lather was. And the fine stayed fairly creamy. Ah, that's pretty good right there. Gotta kind of get up under about half of it and pull it up. That's pretty good. Well, looks, feels great. Of course, it's slick. Definitely plenty slick enough. Yeah, it's great. And very similar to the fine. So yesterday when I had that particular lather in my hands, this Stirling's lather that was a little too wet, I liked the creaminess. It was very interesting. I like the creaminess, light touch as usual here, of the fine better in terms of kind of the general feel of it when I was just moving around on my hands. But when it came to actually feeling the slickness, when I was, rubbing my fingertips together, something like that, I preferred Stirling's. Just felt slicker. So that's interesting that, and that makes sense. You can kind of have two different viscosity feels. When it's compressed and as your razor is moving across your face, that's maybe going to be the more important type of, the important measure of slickness and lubrication. But then when you're just kind of playing with it in your hands, you know, that is that's a different kind. I have to try to come up with some decent names for that so I can talk about them in. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a great lather. I think I'm glad I didn't add more water to this. Of course, this is coming from my goatee, which I think had a little bit of water in it. And so maybe this is a little more hydrated than the lather that's in my bowl. You know what? Yeah, the slickness, the contact slickness is better than fine, just by a little bit. I mean, they're both great, okay? We're arguing about tiny nuances at the top of the game, or reasonably the top. Yeah, I might have to kind of say the same thing. The fine had a little bit better of a feel of the lather in general, non-contact. When it's just kind of in a blob on your hands. So that's less relevant to the shaving practicalities. All right, a little bit of rinse. Face feels great and slick. All right. Leave a little bit of water on my face, although I need to take it out of my goatee. That can wash out a lather because it's got a good bit of water in it. Brush feeling great. I did like the way my brush felt better with Stirling than with Fine. So I'm definitely going to have to bounce back to the Fine and see if maybe that was just because I hadn't used the brush in, a week or something. All right. Very smooth razor. Not very much audio feedback, just a tiny bit. I think it's holding the blade nice and firm from the top and bottom. So I think that helps with that consistency. They're not as easy to find as the American techs, obviously, in America. And the US techs do shave very well. Not quite as smooth as this, though. Cold water, and my water is hard at this location. My face feels terrific. That contact slickness that I was talking about earlier also comes into play when you're rinsing yourself. And Stirling, it's almost like it's got lubricants or some component to it that it just kind of attaches itself to your skin and forms that protective layer, and it's difficult to get off. And Fine maybe perhaps doesn't have that because right now my face was just silky smooth rinsing this stuff off. And that contributes to a luxurious feeling, also giving you good shaves because you've got a very good slickness, secondary slickness. And so sometimes you may not need to relather a certain area before hitting it again for a touch-up or something like that. Love the scent too. It's not too strong. Not strong at all. Kind of mild. The sweeter scents like that sometimes are are more mild because they don't have a strong bitter component, a floral or a real punchy bitter orange, you know. So I think, you know, it's possible with this better contact slickness that Stirling might have a little bit better protection. It's a theory. And that's the third pass. Shave looks great. Full rinse. Today, going to use my Executive Man balm from Stirling. My wife likes it, so since I'm shaving in the morning today, I want to wear something she likes. Since the soap really sticks around for you during the shave, most soaps don't go too much farther than the shave. But the balm and the post-shave splash are more likely to give you the scent for your other people in your life to enjoy. So the balm is for her, soap is for me. And I like Executive Man too. So that works out. So yeah, we stuck with the 2.5 teaspoons of water. 25-second load. And I have kind of the perfect amount left over. Kind of, I could probably get 2 passes out of that. But it's in a margin in case you botch a pass or drop some in the sink or whatever. I also think that if you're going to mix up your lather, it's better to have an extra pass or two, because it just helps with the mixing process, and you don't have to quite mix it as perfectly if you have a little bit of leeway there. It just kind of works better. And at this point, soap is cheap, remember. $13, $13.50 for a tub of 5.8 ounce Stirling soap that will last you 13 months. If you use a bowl, that's an extra pass with each shave is just not really a big deal. All right. Matter of fact, some people purposefully load up more than they really need because they want to try to move through their soap collection a little quicker. Hey, coronavirus is really hurting the world right now. Those of you in other countries that have been quarantined and things like that, I feel for you. We do have presently about 23 cases of it in my state of North Carolina here in the U.S. And we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully we can learn from other nations and lock this thing down before it becomes quite so severe. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hey, I think we're good. Man, the face feel was tremendous. The slick face feel after the second pass especially, and then of course after the third, that seems superior to Fine accoutrements to me. The contact slickness seems superior, and so I'll shave with Fine tomorrow and see what we can discern, see if that's now that I have a couple of those things to be on my list of things to pay special attention to. I'll notice them when I shave with Fine. And great shave today. I love the barbershop. I'm really liking that scent. I regret that it took me so long to find it. I assumed it wouldn't be something I enjoyed, and I was wrong. All right, well, hey there. That's it. Good shave today. And this is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I hope there was something here in this one that has helped you out. You take care. Have a good day.